Shut them! I mean, now you know, show them.
That's right.
On your neck. Make I tell you some story. When the mosquito was flying through the jungle, when the lizard saw it, it said, I am your father. Think about it. Shut them!
Just think about it.
Just think about it.
Streaming from Accra.
Guide Radio. The new wave.
Thank you, Guide Radio, for hosting us today. This is our first episode of Accra's Roundtable, ART. And here with me in the studio today, I have Selom, Miss Juan, and Jerady. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're good. I'm good. I can't talk with them. I'm good.
What it do, baby? I'm ready.
You're very good. All right, man. Okay, so the whole purpose of this chit chat I'm having with you guys is, across Roundtable, we like to talk about difficult topics. We like to talk about what's inside the lives of each of the person that is at the table at the time. So then, before we even start anything, I really want to know, who are you guys? I know I've invited you. I have a kind of profile in my mind about who you are, but I don't think our audience knows who you are. So if you feel free to tell me how you do your life, what your aspirations are, what your purpose of being on this show is, that would be great.
Yeah, done. So my name is Jerady. I think everyone knows my name. But so Alec invited me here, and I'm looking forward to having interesting, stimulating conversations about what is happening in Accra and how it affects all of us. And I feel like this is also a platform for us to have an extended conversation outside of Twitter, which is like the main social media tool that we all have in common here. Yeah, so Jerady, open-minded. For some reason, people think I'm a cocaine dealer.
Is it crack? Is that what you smoke? Do you smoke crack? Okay.
Would you blame them though? You're always tweeting about crack and...
It's this boy right here who has caused that. I like
take all that fault.
that. But yeah, I'm very calm, very open-minded. I love to talk, so that's what we're going to be doing. Challenging conversations, different opinions, different perspectives. Cocktail of personalities. So that means different perspectives, different life ideals, different values. I'm sure not all of us here are Christians, not all of us here are religious, but we still sit and talk as rational human beings should. Yeah, so that's that.
I admire that.
Thank
you.
you.
So your whole aim here is to just really free your mind.
Actually, just free my mind.
Try and have a dialogue, right?
Exactly.
Instead of just argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes most of our conversations on social media are misguided because people always want to be right. No one wants to listen. People always want to be right in the end. So I feel like this is a very good opportunity for us to have our voices heard and make our points and if you have to vindicate yourself, if you have to whatever, but like just talk and free your mind, because that's why we're all here. So yeah,
say what you have to say without being judged, kind of thing.
Exactly, just be yourself.
That's
say
how it
what
should
you have
be.
Exactly, that's how it should be. Yeah.
Well, what about you, Selom? Because from what I know about you, you have been in the A&R business for quite a while now, managing...
Not quite a while.
Quite a while? Wait,
no.
What would you want to correct me on then?
Just say I'm an A&R. Not quite a while, but yeah.
All right, so you've been in the A&R business for some time. Is that more accurate for you? Yeah, you've been in this business for a while, managing different artists, getting their perspectives on the industry, and also helping craft their voice and their sound as it is. So, for you personally, on a show like this, where we talk about very tense subjects, how do you feel like, what do you think you are bringing to the show? Like, what do you have to say?
Okay, so, well, let's just say, the way I've branded me, let's just say I'm the music man. Or I'm the entertainment guy. So yeah, I'll try as much as possible to be from the entertainment side, from the music aspects. That's where a lot of my contribution is going to come from. But here, I'll be able to talk about other stuff, but mainly when I talk about music.
What exactly about music do you want to talk about? Because there's many aspects about music. Whether this guy's song is trendy or not, whether this guy's song is trash or not, and I know a lot of us have that conversation. And also whether, you know, maybe his longevity in the industry, how's that determined to be? So what exactly are you bringing besides just, yo, I'm here as your music guy, I'm here to link you to different music people? I mean, radio stations have a lot of those people that come on and like, you know, Don Jazzy up next on 5:40 p.m. show. Yo, we have a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. So then, what exactly is it that...
Okay, so what exactly it is I want to do, I'm not entirely sure if let's say allowed to do it. So I'll have to confirm if I can do it, then I will do it.
Your man is sounding very, 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 very like he has some secret plan.
Something up his sleeve.
Some ominous plan.
No, I feel like he's playing it safe. First of all, he said that he's trying to be what you said he should be, which is. And I don't know why you're playing it. I thought you were here to be yourselves, but yeah.
But I am music. If anyone who knows me knows I like music. I do music, everything.
So how does that link up to the talk show?
Okay, so linking up to the talk show, well, I have different opinions about me. Well, first of all, Alec is my friend, and we became friends off a very, very controversial topic. Should I go into that topic?
Not on this episode.
Okay, not on this episode, but yeah, Alec and I became friends over a very controversial topic. So he and I have this understanding that people have different ideas, people have different perspectives on the same issue. So now I'm just here to bring my idea onto the show about the stuff that we're about to talk about.
You've still not necessarily said what you are or who you are, but
you find out as time goes on.
Who's this girl interrogating you though? By the way, the girl that is making so many questions and putting our man on the stage like that, her name is Kelda, aka Miss Juan. So Miss Juan, you feel like you have the need to tell people what's appropriate or not to talk about on the show. Who are you?
No, did I come up with that? Did I come up with that? No, like you. Okay, I mean, I thought I was a shy, socially awkward one year, but it seems like he's holding back on who he is. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so who am I? You'll also have to see on the shit, like eventually or something.
So you're taking the position of the guy you were accusing.
Okay, so I'm not a non-judgmental person who would actually. I'm here to trigger. It can see no matter what you do,
Shake tables.
Yeah, no matter what you do, you're definitely gonna either get a hate or something. So I'm here to trigger either positive or negative, to start to have grounds and have stands on things that you're kind of shy of, being. So just
and that's really the whole.
Individuality.
That's really the whole purpose of Accra's Roundtable, is for us to have those conversations where you feel like, oh, this is something I can't talk about in class. This is something I can't talk about with my mom. This is something I can't talk about with my friends, because they're gonna look at me a type of way. They're gonna think of me a type of way. Like, imagine some guy just getting up talking his mind about how he feels about sexuality, and his friends, how they're gonna react, especially if they're not oriented towards that kind of mindset. So then the whole roundtable idea, like you were just talking about, is for us to be able to say what it is. So that makes us who we are.
I have every reason to appreciate that thing, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have every
You really
reason
came here to trigger, because like, you're really on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Free
Really
him, free
victimizing.
Selom. Free Selom.
By the way, hashtag free Selom.
Hashtag free Selom.
The nature of the show is basically to bring about an awareness of what we've been keeping concealed within this city, in terms of our talent, in terms of our conversations, in terms of what we have to offer to the rest of the world. Because you can't just say that you're repping Accra and Accra is close-minded to the rest of the world. It's a kind of shot in the foot kind of venture you're going on. You need to know what's happening in the city. You need to know what kind of conversations are going on. That's what this table is for.
I saw a tweet.
What was that?
She said she didn't know Ghana was a country that existed. I was like, what?
If you're a
She's
black
probably
person,
white.
A white person.
Obviously, that's normal.
Caucasian.
Okay.
It's normal.
Then-
It's very normal.
Like,
No, but it's 2019.
Africa
You're
is
on
a country
Twitter
to them.
and you don't
Yeah.
know about Ghana. Even the whole year of the thing should like
No.
ring bells.
trust me.
They don't
People
they don't
have-
even think it's
they-
Africa
Yo.
is a continent.
their mind is not even on you. They have other stuff to think
But I
about.
feel like because it's like the internet and like the internet is basically a wildfire thing. So it's like you should know Ghana. You should know about Ghana at least. You should have
First of all,
read something somewhere, seen something. This woman says she's never heard of Ghana. It's like wow, okay.
this is
She's
actually
probably
one
never
of the
heard of Ghana
nicest
because
things.
she's heard about, Ghana from white people. She's heard about Ghana from different sources.
No.
And she's probably even heard Ghana from the main media sources that we have in this country. And I don't want to sound off topic or wrong or anything, but then these big media houses that we have representing this entire country and what it stands for, sometimes they get a lot of things wrong
Okay, that's
about
true.
what we represent as a people. So then people out there can be like, this is how Ghana is, this is how I want to come to, I want to do, and they come in, the reality is completely different from what they expected. It's because they were reliant too much on this perception in the media, which was completely inaccurate. Again, drawing us back to this Accra's Roundtable, which is trying to restore that sense of authenticity to what people are actually thinking.
The media, they use the media to do a lot. They use the media to paint the African, even outside of African Americans, if you're trying to talk outside, to look bad. Like it's part of the agenda.
Particularly, especially Ghanaian bloggers.
Yeah.
Like when the.
Oh, so you're talking like
I'm
local?
talking. Yeah, I said Ghanaian media narrative.
Okay.
That's what I said. Yeah, and with regards to the whole. The girl who was drugged, was she drugged?
Oh,
yeah. The girl who went out.
Some guy wanted to sleep with her.
Yeah. And then did you see the blog?
The guy was like slay queen something.
Bruh, the headline.
The headline was crazy.
Ghanaian slay queen poisoned to death. It's like, take this rubbish down immediately. Like why?
So you feel like the whole motivation behind the journalism / media industry in this country is either centered around portraying a very, silly image of what's going on in Accra. And at the other extreme end, there are also those that are talking about censorship. People that are telling you that you cannot talk about this on air. You cannot talk like this on air. You cannot bring up this topic on air. So we're kind of experiencing like both ends of that spectrum. People that are saying everything that they feel should be said, but most of what they're saying is absolute bullshit because they're talking about stuff that are not relevant. They're talking about slay queens and kings when you should be talking about a certain type of parasitical culture that's going on in our city.
Yeah, and for instance, with the whole slay queen term, I have a problem with that because ideally, or before or on the onset of the whole slay queen term, I feel like it was a term that among girls was like, oh, you're looking good, you're slaying.
You're slaying.
And then over the years it got a really dark meaning real quick. Like the whole connotation was like very bad. I was like, when did this happen? Because back then if you said someone was a slay queen, it's like, oh, you look nice, you dress nice, you're fashionable, you're this, you're that. But now it's like there's a whole negative connotation associated with the term slay queen, and a lot of Ghanaian media people and a lot of bloggers hone in on this like negative part, and that's my problem because then it's like, what are you trying to say? So for instance, this girl who, what do you mean by Ghanaian slay queen? Even in death, we don't respect women. Even in death.
I like the last one.
Man,
Even in death, I like the last one.
Even in
I
death,
was like,
we don't respect women.
I was like,
it's crazy.
Damn.
It's crazy. So that's one of my issues right now, and I feel like this is a very good opportunity for us to talk about it. And I hope they're hearing us and they're listening to us and they're watching us. Please change your narrative and please do better. It's not as if they don't know; they know. But for clicks,
yeah,
clickbait.
exactly. That's exactly like the main reason why they do that thing. They know that if they put out the narrative that, let's say, young girl gets drugged, no one's gonna click on it. But when they put,
have to put a misleading
when they put
you.
Ghanaian slay queen gets drugged,
then
That's
you
more
immediately
provocative.
like,
exactly.
Exactly. You see,
Yeah,
so it's
it
like,
gets
oh,
people
she
like,
do exactly.
a slay queen.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you doing?
What were you doing?
Click.
Exactly.
And then they have their views that they're looking for. Yeah.
Exactly. Meanwhile, that is not even the story or whatever. So it's like my problem is misleading headlines. Should like really, really, really touch on.
So Juan attacked you earlier today, talking about the relation to music to what you were doing here today. Jerady just spoke to us very eloquently about how she's trying to, dethrone some stigmas about how things are done within this country through this show.
Yeah.
So you, as I see, are coming from the music spectrum of things in the city.
Okay.
How would you want to, change how that's
so I
perceived?
just want Ghanaians to stop paying attention to the normal mainstream music.
When you say normal mainstream music, what do you mean?
I'm not trying to throw shade.
Oh no, feel free. This is it's
Please
a
feel
round
free to throw
table.
shade, yeah.
There's enough shade to go around.
Someone like Kwame Eugene. Kwame Eugene is a mainstream artist.
Okay.
He makes regular Ghanaian music,
Yeah.
if I should put it that way. That's why it's like he's so popular here. Like he makes regular Ghanaian music, but there are so many people out there who are not making regular Ghanaian music, but their sound is so beautiful, it's so great. But because they are not making regular Ghanaian music, nobody pays attention to them. Nobody plays their songs on air. Nobody shares.
How does
their
that
music.
relate to this roundtable discussion? we're
Okay,
having?
so to this roundtable discussion now, we are going to start paying attention to people who are making music with a meaning.
Yeah.
And to play devil's advocate for him, because he's my nigga. Yeah, I feel like on the topic of people not listening to irregular or different stuff, you can tie it to this conversation in the sense that Ghanaians are not open to new things and change. And so he's here as a personality to give us the other side of Ghanaians that we don't see. And earlier, I think we were talking about how Ghanaians are like very, very, very some way
Like conservative, kind of?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. So this whole music thing, particularly on the topic of change, the theme of change.
Yeah.
It's like you can tie it to music. In music, Ghanaians don't like change. Okay, so this is the new sound. This is
Guys,
exactly.
if I was an audience and I was watching this, I'll stop watching it. I'm sorry. This is the second time that it's almost like you're speaking in a way where you expect people to sort of now begin to change something of theirs. You saying that the music thingy, yeah, it just basically means you're in the wrong market. So instead of you sending out that song out, I know what it is. I know what music you're talking about. Instead of you trying to push it, yeah, just take it to the place where they appreciate it.
Wait, let's
Simple.
just hold this conversation for a minute, because it seems like the whole direction of this conversation is being changed.
Yeah.
But before it's being changed, I need to know, who are you? Girl in a red cap. That is telling us who is in the wrong market
Exactly.
and what. Like, who,
No, I'm sorry.
Who are you?
Really
Are
is
you
here to
triggered?
trigger.
No,
Yeah,
Are you triggered?
she's a
Personally,
woman of her words.
I
She
am not
really is.
triggered
Yeah, I'm
at
not
all.
triggered
I am
at
very
all.
comfortable in this
Exactly.
setting. But I need to know, who is this ostentatious
I know.
bold
I'm
person?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm
No,
telling
you
people.
both of y'all have been talking about the fact that you should be individuals of your own selves and that, and you shouldn't conform. And then
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're
Okay.
talking about. I was talking.
before. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so
I mean, even before all of that,
Yeah.
what's your name?
my name is Miss Juan.
Miss Juan.
Yes.
What do you do, Miss Juan?
I'm. Should I bring that up? The
Yeah,
fact that
yeah,
I'm
of course, of
interviewing,
course.
I'm
No,
handling
you're not,
another
yeah.
talk show. I'm working on a few projects and that.
Okay.
Yeah. What
What about your talk show? What are you doing?
How does that
What's
relate to this?
making you sit here at this table with us?
I'm controversial. I open.
You are
everyone,
controversial.
everyone
Okay.
figures
Now
they're
she's like
controversial.
super controversial.
Okay, maybe I don't think I'm controversial though.
You
but
are
people,
controversial.
You are.
I don't think I'm controversial. But
Yeah,
people
you
think
are.
I'm controversial or whatever. I'm just unapologetic over my
Pointing case.
opinions and stuff, even if it's not going to be in agreement with each other. And but it's like you guys were saying with Ghanaians is like first, yes, we are bashing some particular actions of Ghanaians or people in Accra or what we do, and maybe we should change it or that. But like you can't expect somebody to change something just because you don't like it. Okay, the music thingy you're talking about, they like Afrobeat. That is what pops up in this place. If you don't want to do Afrobeat, just take it to the place where they will like your music. It's not that deep.
Then
And-
again, I want to play devil's advocate. I think he was encouraging variety, and I think
But-
that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that.
So we're saying at this table,
Because
it's
it's
like-
the same.
different.
It's
wait,
the same
relax.
thing
Let's-
that
let's-
everyone
let's-
is talking about.
Let's draw back to what Kelda was saying, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that there are different markets for different conversations to be had. I don't think she's entirely wrong, but at the same time, I don't think she's entirely right.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I do feel like there are a bit of prejudices within the Ghanaian society that kind of already stifles them for embracing change. They cannot just do some certain stuff.
Exactly.
You know? It's not because they don't want to. It's just they don't
They
have.
can't.
Yeah, they don't. I don't
They
know
can't.
whether it's a knowledge thing or whether it's a motivational thing. Whatever it is,
Highly
And also the
spiritual.
fear of like
Highly-
accepting
Highly
new stuff.
spiritual.
I don't know what exactly it is, but they can't bring themselves up to it. And so I wanted to actually see from your perspective, Selom, like how Miss Wan just pushed the whole thing to you. How are you going to get people that just don't feel any obligation to be on this show or to do the kind of music that they do? How are you going to get them to open up?
No,
Because the problem, as we are saying, is not really with the Ghanaian people. It's with the impact of what those artists who say that you guys should be listening to me, what are they doing? That kind of thing.
Well, so like I was saying, it's not Ghanaians. If you're not making Afrobeats, generally Ghanaians will not listen to you, and this is something that I'll put my head on a chopping board
It's
for.
a hill you're willing to
Yes,
die
I
on.
will die on this hill. That's if you are not making Afrobeats. Generally, Ghanaians will not like. They, like you said, they. I don't know if there's something holding them back, but once you are not making, like I said, typical Ghanaian music, which is now Afrobeats, they won't even go and listen and see. Okay, if you are not making Afrobeats, what do you make? What type of music do you make? What's okay? If you are not talking, if you are not singing on a normal boom bang bang beats, what beats are you? What beats are you singing on? What beats are you rapping on? What beats are you talking on? They won't even go and listen to that. That's what I'm talking
Selom,
about.
Okay, let's say I'm the type of person who likes to listen to Afrobeats alone. Auntie Dane, if that's my taste, like,
No, I feel
so
like
what's the problem?
his points, he's trying to hone in more on the whole Ghanaians are not open to new stuff thing,
Well,
which
actually,
cuts
that's
across.
a bad. I personally think that that's not a really good analogy.
Yeah, 'cause, like, the
it doesn't
focus-
it doesn't really affect anyone generally apart from the artist who doesn't sell. That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like something like sexuality or something about women, or misogynistic patriarchal system, something like that.
You
So
see,
in Accra,
that's the thing, yo.
or economy,
If we're trying
the
to be
taxes or
objective,
something.
Miss Juan, if you feel like women and all these other lists that you made,
It's more important.
it's more important. That's personally your this
Exactly.
thing.
I feel like
And he feels
exactly.
alternatively that music and people who have a different sound should have a stage as much as those who are more mainstream. So we have, as I think, very conflicting personalities here, and this is what art is all about. This is about us having a conversation about things that we think are too tense for friends or human beings to talk about.
Okay.
So I like what's going on right here.
You said importance. Now that's subjective. I'm talking about like issues in Accra that affects the majority. Like, this is just a matter of taste or preference.
Okay, hold on.
It's an important
I wasn't
issue.
supposed to do this,
How
but
is it?
now I think I will.
Yes,
Good.
My
Good.
artist
He's coming out.
is
bro.
coming
Thank
out
you.
with an EP
Exactly.
this November, and there's a song on there called Susie Williams, and that song is mainly talking about the rape culture in Ghana. If a girl wants to dress in a certain way, it doesn't mean you should go and touch her. It doesn't mean you should go and rape her. She should feel free to wear whatever the fuck she wants to wear.
Are we
Like-
allowed to be
Yeah, I
prepared?
mean that's a topic we can keep
Right.
for a future episode, the topic of rape. But then
Yeah.
I understand completely where you're coming from, how
Yeah, so-
music relates to that.
So now this is me answering your question. He doesn't make normal Ghanaian music. He makes alternative music. Our music is called Ours. We make music for the hours. It's something we'll talk about later.
Wait, so this was our first episode with Jerady, with Selom, and with Miss Juan. And I'm very grateful for having you guys here, for telling me about who you are, about what you're about what you plan to bring to this table, and
you.
where you are coming from. And so I hope that we can take it further from here onwards. We can make it better. So thank you for your time.
Definitely.
Thank you
Definitely.
too.
Thank you too.
I'll keep triggering you. Alright, I'll be back again.
Streaming from Accra.
Guide Radio. The new wave.